Welcome back. In our last episode, we talked about how bingeability is the key to scaling. Because when you're bingeable, you can convert a brand new person in a matter of hours, not months of nurturing. And this is at the heart of scaling, is being able to convert more new people fast. And again, I teach you how to do that on autopilot, because at the core of becoming bingeable is essentially being able to be laser focused and speak to just one person, your dream ideal soulmate client, that makes her feel like you're in your head. Because when you do that, number one, she feels seen, heard, and understood. And number two, that accelerates the buying process, because if she feels like you understand her problem, then that immediately gets her to understand that you also have the solution. And that is what collapses and accelerates that buying cycle. So someone can find you today, binge you today, and pay you tonight. But here's the thing, bingeability only works when not just when the right person's binging you, but when you're speaking to her at the right time, right? Meeting them where they're at as it relates to the results you offer. Because if they're a little too early in your buying journey, you could do everything right. You can build out this entire system, right? You can build out my entire ad system, do your series perfectly, but she might not be ready. And this is incredibly important. Because again, it can mean the difference of someone like ready to jump in, or you just like growing with people who are not quite ready to take action. So the most important piece is that you speak to somebody, just one person in your messaging. Even if it can actually help a wide range of people, you want to make sure that you're magnetizing just one person, because if you don't, it will backfire. And I know it can feel a little restrictive, at least it did for me in the beginning, because you feel like, ooh, maybe like I'm cutting off potential cash flow. But here's what you need to know. When you don't single out just one person, your message becomes watered down, right? So like you lose that authority and the potency of your offer fades, and you end up attracting no one. And this is what I mean when you post online. You probably know that if you are attracting just one person, it gets lower reach. But like when you're speaking more broadly, and I mean, it's frustrating, but when you're speaking more broadly in your reels and pull back, it might apply to more people, but does that actually create sales? It's like when you're at a party, right? You could be standing in the middle of the room and you might shout, "Hey, somebody come talk to me." And people might look at you, but most will just move on. Like it's just too generic to grab their attention, right? You're not singling anybody out. But if you walk up to one person, look them in the eye, and say something that speaks to their situation, they'll stop. They'll listen and engage with you. That's the power of becoming that, having that bingeable messaging that's focused on just one person. It literally cuts through the noise and lands differently. Now, I will say this with a caveat though. No matter how strong your messaging is, no matter if it's getting buried in the algorithm and no one's watching it, the end result is no one's converting. And that's why I like to put things on autopilot. That's why I like to use paid strategies, because the next thing you need to keep in mind is that this one person you should attract is your ideal soulmate client, right? Again, this person, like I mentioned before, gets the ultimate results. She's the one who instantly understands exactly why she needs your offer. And I'm saying this because, like I said, you probably have worked with her before. She's super motivated, she trusts the process, and she's ready to do the work. Everything feels super easy, the conversations and the results are amazing. And so the best part is she dives into everything else you make. She dives into everything else you sell, and then becomes an advocate and keeps recommending you to people. That's who you should be speaking to, nobody else. Right? And again, this takes time, this takes training, but it is critical to becoming bingeable to her. And last but not least, and this is what I wanted to expand on in this episode, is that you need to make sure that you're speaking to this one soulmate client at the right time, right? There's nothing more frustrating than filling your offers or your audience with people who meet your criteria on paper, but they aren't quite ready to take the next step. And trust me, I've been there, because trying to scale with her felt like almost like pulling teeth. And at the same time, I was like, wait, I don't get it. This is what she needs. And then it made me doubt myself. So bottom line, right? You don't want to attract people who are unaware, first of all, who are unaware they have a problem. I hope you're not doing this. But some of this content is, did you know that you could, this is an example, but did you know that you could post online and get people to join your offer or whatever? Or did you know that you could run ads? And if I said it like that, it would be people who are like, wait, what are ads? Why do I need them? I don't know. Just, do I really need them? I'm speaking to you because I know that you need them, right? So I know that. Now, the second type of person is somebody who is aware but not ready. And that's probably even worse than your unaware buyer, because again, your job isn't to convince, but these are the people that get a lot of objections because they know they have a problem, but they're not quite at the point where they're motivated to solve this. So they're a little bit still married to their pain, or they feel like they can still figure it out themselves. But we're not here for that. We're here to talk to the person who's like, you know what? I'm aware of the problem. I'm motivated to fix it. And I'm actively searching for a solution. So they'll probably be trying other things. So they'll be Googling. They're the ones Googling the stuff, right? And they're ready. They'll come into this space. They'll binge everything and be like, I'm ready. Like, where's the link? Because they see you as a solution that they've been searching for and say, I'm in without hesitating. That is the key to scaling with ease. And is also very important for this Bingeable ads process for me. And it's like, when you're already coming in here, I'm already pre-filtering you. So no one actually, there's very little chance that you actually show up completely cold into my offers, into the rest of my, even before you see my sales page, because I want to make sure that you're the right fit. So this is like also a great filtering process. And it allows me to stay completely in line with the integrity of my offers and what makes me unique, right? And it would be the same for you. And like I said, your offers already work. They already sell, right? That's the beauty, that this doesn't require a complete overhaul, just a few intentional tweaks to make everything click. Now, it's okay if you don't get this perfectly right away. This took me a while. And again, this can change and evolve over time, but it definitely took me a little bit of time in the beginning. But what I wish I had was someone with an outsider's perspective, right? So someone telling me like, you need to speak to her because she's actually looking for a solution. If I had this system and this way of reaching somebody back like a year and a half ago, I cannot imagine how easy this whole process would have been if I hadn't fallen for the whole organic content trap. Here's the good news. This has honestly become my superpower because I can take one look and immediately pinpoint where you're not speaking to your soulmate client and how this would honestly make or break your bingeability. And having that ability to, again, create this like perfectly homogenous audience being filtered through an automated like video series like this, so that they know when they come in and they're already pre-sold. It's like people throwing at your wallets at you daily. Meet me, if I haven't said it like 15 times already, meet me in my workshop. I have an upcoming workshop, or if you're watching this after, you can catch the replay. If you want to know what this will look like in your world, if you want to map this out in real time with me or in replay time with me, so that you can map out your own Bingeable series and ad system and we can get rolling. So in the next episode, I want to actually walk you through exactly how to put this on autopilot, the ads that will come into play, and how it all fits neatly and perfectly to literally mimic what you're doing online. Like, you take your best content, you make it a little longer, put it on autopilot, and it's like cha-ching after that. I'll see you there. If not, if you're ready to see and dive more into this and get more into this process, then somewhere below you'll see a link to a workshop. I'll see you in the next episode.